And we're recording.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Welcome to another episode of
Too Many Words. Oh, I thought you were leading into something there for me.
Oh, sorry. Podcast. I am your co-host, Isaac William Joseph, along with
Jordan.
All right, we got a special week, Jordan. Really refreshing week, actually.
Would I like to welcome our guest? No one.
Yeah, empty chair. Hey, I think this is pretty refreshing. I was looking forward to it next week, but this week is just fine for me.
Mm-hmm. I think
one-on-ones. One-on-ones will always be great.
It's been a while since we've done one.
Yeah.
At this point, so it's not a bad thing. It's actually quite all right.
So it is September 20th, 9:51 p.m. as of now, and what's up?
We could have started this so much. We're starting late because I'm not gonna get into it on the podcast.
Hey, it's okay.
I'm a little bit irritated. I'm not gonna lie.
Anyways, let me get right into the announcements. As we mentioned in episode 3, we do have an Instagram. I forgot to mention it at the beginning of last episode, but we do have an Instagram at Too Many Words Podcast. We officially have.
Have we reached 20 yet?
We have 16 followers now, including someone who followed right before we started recording.
Really?
Yeah, it's at Nina Livingston, a girl I used to go to church with.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, let me get on to the people who followed throughout the week. Since last episode, we have at A Meggers 44, Austin Meggers, a guy who used to work with Jordan.
Yes, he's pretty dope.
At Pastor Debbie 770, my Nana, as mentioned plenty of times in the second episode. At Connor NG3, another person that Jordan worked with. Works with. It's complicated. At Riley Hannah 312. I don't know who that is.
So long. You don't know
who is that? Is that my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, hi girlfriend. Appreciate the follow, even though I just told her to. I forced her to. But anyways, at the Josh Carlberg. Guy I used to go to high school with.
A lot of new followers in a week.
Yeah. And then lastly, your father at AndyVC74.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're up to 16 followers now. That's really awesome. Go give it a follow at Too Many Words Podcast on Instagram.
I'm shooting for 20 for next week. Come on, guys.
Oh,
you
20?
Can do that.
I think we can definitely hit 4 more people by next week.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get into more announcements. Okay, thescaldstone.com has a new writing work on the school writings page. What does it mean to be educated? I give my own personal definition of what it means to be educated. Jordan, what does it mean to be educated to you?
You went to school?
You went to school?
I mean, okay.
Outside of school, what does education really mean?
In my opinion, really, it's more specific than that. You can't just be there. I feel you can't use a general, broad term. You're educated. I think you have to be. You're educated in this subject or in that subject. You can't just be educated in everything unless you're fucking Armin, because he knows a little bit about fucking everything.
Armin is the king of knowing dumb knowledge.
Random
honestly.
Bullshit for no fucking reason.
But if you're interested in what it means to me, what it means to be educated, something off of what you kind of just said.
Mm-hmm.
The most common measurement of education outside of schooling is as simple as if you're good at what you do. If you set your career up to be, I don't know, a roofer, you gotta be knowledgeable in roofing, otherwise you're crap and uneducated in roofing. So yeah, y'all go give that a good read on the Schoolworks page on thescaldstone.com.
Took you a while to upload that one, didn't you?
What?
Took you a while to upload that one, didn't you?
I always wait at least a little bit to upload school homework just to make sure that it's been graded and stuff. just because I'm gonna, even though there's a disclaimer on the page on the website, I really don't want to go through the mess of, hey, you self-plagiarized because this is on this website. And then I go to my freaking Squarespace editing webpage, and I'm like, oh yeah, check again. It's down.
I mean, I'm sure some, if it's like your actual professor or teacher, I feel like you could explain that to them, like, that's my website.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
I think it'll eventually come. It's just, I don't have very many opportunities, and I'll get into that as soon as I'm through with these announcements.
You want it to be a bit more natural, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. What a fucking loser.
By the time you're hearing this, though, maybe, just maybe, another one of my pieces of homework that I think is a really good story might be out on the personal life stories page of the website. The time that I almost went to jail. It's originally a 7-page story, as mentioned in the last episode, and condensed down to 3 pages. Maybe I'll make a writer's cut or something like that, but, maybe by the time you're hearing this, that could be out on the page as well. For the podcast page on the Scald Stone, I've added a contact list.
You actually added that already?
Yeah,
okay,
so
nice.
On the podcast page, below the Spotify link, before the YouTube link, you can put your name, subject line, and send a freaking message to our email, okay? We will get it, and you can just, it's your way of interacting with us.
Are our Instagram DMs also open?
Yeah, our Instagram DMs are open, but, hey, if you want to give my website traffic, I think it'll be pretty neat trying to, notification through
it's
our Too Many Words
there,
podcast Gmail, it's a thought. But, yeah, that's another way you can contact us, guys. So, I've already gotten 2 people talking to me about this. Isaac, the 1 chip challenge, you have to eat the whole chip. Now, when I was posting about it, advertising about last episode, I did feel like, I didn't really eat the whole chip. I can't really call it the 1 chip challenge, but it's called the 1 chip challenge.
You can very
so
much say you ate at least half of it.
This is my promise to you guys. The next time that I see it reasonable, probably within the next 3 episodes, I will do the 1 chip challenge. The entire chip. And I'm going to dive right in. Right at the beginning, I'm going to eat the whole chip.
The promo for that one should just be you eating it the first time, the 2021. And then we're like, watch him do it again.
So, that is my promise to you guys. I sold you guys short. I did eat, at least a third of the chip, but, we gotta...
I think you ate
I don't think I was burning long enough throughout the last episode. You know what I'm saying? So
you took it a lot better than you did the first one, I will say that
honestly,
much.
I think it's because I was just trying to keep up with podcast content and keeping up with the conversation.
You were really struggling, though.
I was struggling, but I think it was a really good help having my mind somewhere else other than my face is on fire, right? So, that is the end of the announcements. All I have left on my notes app is just a few things I want to talk about. A few things pertain to this week's guest. That's just fine. We can hold those for another time,
Yeah.
Jordan, what happened to you this week?
I actually have a few things
Yes,
to say.
you do. Yes, you do.
Wait, you know about? You shouldn't.
No,
really know
it's
about
just
it.
I wanted you to have something other than I worked.
So firstly, I actually want to open with some sad news.
Oh yeah, this is important.
Yesterday we had to put our dog Maya down. She was the one that was in a couple previous episodes that was making very, very much noise. And it was a very sad and difficult time for all of us here at the house. And some of us are actually still struggling with it, myself included. it's difficult, but she was an amazing dog, honestly.
Yeah.
She was always my favorite of the two, but nothing against Piper. She's just kind of a dipshit. And then secondly, I want to say something. I want to tell a story, actually. This happened at work. As some of you may or may not know, I don't know. Excuse me. Nice. I have been working in the deli again quite a bit lately because I need some support, some help. And they've gotten a few new employees, and they got this one lady. Her name is Joanne. That's as much as I'm going to say. She's really nice. She's amazing. She's fantastic. She's a great person. But turns out...
Joanne, that sounds middle-age-ish lady. Is she a nice old lady?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Turns out I've known her for about 15 years.
Really?
So, the first time I worked with her, I think was actually her first day. No, it was maybe her second day, actually. Anyways, I was like, I know you. I recognize your name from somewhere. I can't put a peg on it where. I shot out a couple ideas. We were like, maybe.
Joanne is a striking name, you know. It sticks with you, you know.
Yeah. And then I worked with her a couple times after that. And then one of the times I was working with her after that, she asked me, I was like, what does JVC actually stand for? Because that's what my name tag says at work. I was like, it's just Jordan Van Cleve. That's my name. And we already got a Jordan.
Just very crappy.
Okay. We already got a Jordan.
No. Just very cute.
Most people would just say Jordan Very Charming, but you know.
Oh, yeah. That's actually really good. You never told
me. We already had a Jordan at the meat department, so I'd switched name tags to JVC. So I had a JVC name tag because a lot of people knew me as JVC at work. But like I just switched to it permanently because we had the other Jordan. Anyways, a few minutes later, she's like, Charlie Miller. I was like, how the fuck do you know that name?
Who's Charlie Miller?
That's my best friend.
Yeah? Not me? Okay.
Yeah, not you. My best friend, my will-be best man. Sorry, Isaac. But you already knew that.
Oh, that's fine. You're not getting married.
Fuck you. I've known him for a very, very long time, and he's helped me through some serious shit in my life. So, but he lives in Wisconsin now. He's pretty cool. Maybe someday we'll have him on the podcast. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, it'll be a good time to tell his story and why he's in Wisconsin.
Yeah, actually, that would be pretty neat.
Yeah. He's here at least like once a year, right?
About that. Maybe once every 2 years. Yeah. But anyways, turns out Joanne is Charlie's adoptive mom's best friend.
Whoa.
Like, number one best friend. I have met her several times throughout the years, actually. It had been probably good 8, maybe 9 years since I had seen her last. Mm-hmm. And I was also probably about half her height at that time. Now I'm twice her height.
Whoa, this is a small woman.
She's
What's she like, 5'3"?
Yeah, about 5'3", maybe 5'7". No,
that's a big gap, bro. That's either my mom's height or my height.
She's definitely shorter than you. So yeah, probably 5'3". That's a good number.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah. And I was like, wait a second, I know you quite a bit. And I was like, yeah, it's all coming to me now. It was crazy, actually. It was a pretty crazy revelation. It was good, though.
Small world, bro.
It is.
But that's Iowa, you know?
Yeah. I had something else to say, but I forgot what it was immediately before we started talking.
Tell us about how you have abs now.
I don't, though.
Tell us about how you got sweet glutes.
I don't, though. If you talk to
Tell us about what you're doing.
I'm starting to go to the gym, I guess. I mean, that's
pumping the iron, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been very faithful to it, but you know, We doing it.
I mean, even if you do it once a week, it's more than what you were doing.
Yeah, I suppose. Let's see. What was the other thing I was going to say?
Oh, that's not what you were going to say?
No.
Well, I'm going to add, backing on Maya, my personal experience. I didn't know her long enough to get a crazy connection with her, but I will say she was never a bad dog. She was always a good dog, actually. Despite her waking me up at every hour of the night because of her suffering, it's like I always understood that, what she was going through sucked. And, every time she parked her ass next to the couch because she couldn't go anywhere, I'd always give her a nice head rub and be aware of what was going to come, for a while we thought she was going to be just fine. A
lot of us remained hopeful in that she would pull through, but
a lot of us thought she was just going to be walking like that and just have a very bad sense of balance. But yeah, they took her to the doctor, and what the deciding factor was, she lost 6 pounds out of nowhere. And Jeezy, the rightful owner of Maya, was like, we should do it. And yeah.
It's very sad.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
But yeah.
You think about that thing yet?
No.
No?
One of her favorite things to do was what we call drive-bys. Because she would literally be walking past you and just lick you as she walks past.
Oh yeah, that's what she used to do. You're gonna make me sad.
That was fun. I'm already tearing up right now, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know.
Can I get into my notes?
I got some new boots for work. That was pretty cool. They're pretty. They're waterproof. They look nice.
Oh yeah, you showed me those. Those are actually pretty slick.
And they were only $60.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, lugs are pretty cheap though. They're affordable.
Yeah.
They're good. I mean, the shoes I wore today are a pair of lugs actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're from my stepdad.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Jordan?
What?
So, as a Christian man, I don't like to say the word idols, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty self-explanatory. But, I think we all, as a person, have inspirations. Who's that guy or gal that has the job that you want, or a network that you aspire to have, or just the way they carry themselves you aspire to have?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have some inspirations like that?
I mean, very early in my life, Frank Lloyd Wright, he was a very famous architect, because I had a real passion for architecture.
That's the aeroplane guy, right?
No.
I don't know a lick about people in architecture.
He designed Falling Water, which is a very famous house that's unlivable because the water that it's built on causes problems. He designed the Guggenheim Museum in New York. He's actually got 2 houses that he designed that are in Dallas Center.
You definitely have to show me some of these pictures, bro.
Yeah, no, they're pretty cool.
What makes him an inspiration to you? Because that is very different from what I've heard that, I guess, there's a few steps in between I want to own a bar and architecture.
I was getting at that. So, at first my passion was architecture. It still is. I love architecture. Okay. I love the design of houses. I love doing all that stuff. But my ex-girlfriend kind of ruined that for me, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I really loved his design of things and how he did it, and he was very inspirational for me, and I really wanted to follow in his footsteps. But like I said, that got ruined for me, so I started thinking of other ideas, and it took a long time. It took about 3 years for me to finally land on something I actually wanted to do. Inspiration for, the bar thing, that came from me actually working in the wine and spirits department at the Coralville 2 Hy-Vee.
That's true, yeah.
Can't really peg that on a specific person. Maybe my assistant manager at the time, Stuart, but
I mean, sometimes we get thrown things that make us sway our mind on things.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly beautiful that you found a different passion, even though, sometimes you do go through a heartbreak and some things just remind you too much of the past, and other times you just...
It wasn't even that. She just told me I was stupid.
Really?
Yeah. Architecture was a stupid career to follow because it didn't have a steady income.
Well, I got some opinions on her statements on that, but I think that's a different episode for a different day, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. As for me, actually, no. What I was going to say, I really love that you have a new passion, right? And it's because it was natural. It's because you got a job in a place that you didn't really completely like the situation because of where you were living and stuff. But that's just what happened, and you fell in love with something new because of it, okay? Me moving in here made me fall in love with storytelling indirectly, but it was a domino effect, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's completely healthy.
It's funny, though, that domino effect, it goes back so far.
Yeah. You see, it's perfectly healthy to go back and forth and away from certain career ideas. And I remember my teacher in high school, my choir teacher in high school, he mentioned this one musician. He made it very clear that he didn't start writing music until he was 45. And I had a realization the other day, maybe a few weeks ago. Jordan, unless something untimely happens, whatever we decide to do with the rest of our lives, we're in our early 20s, whatever we decide to do, whatever we decide to love to do, dedicate, it will be the majority of our life. It will be what we did with our lives. You feel me, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's awesome, the endless opportunities that we can have because we're in our younger 20s, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get into who my inspirations are. You see, I can say people like Chris Hemsworth or Taika Waititi, but honestly, when it comes to the network, the jack of all trades style that I really want to have, I really think of Joe Rogan and Pat McAfee. They're both podcasters, but they both have, Pat McAfee, he went and played for the NFL. I obviously am not an NFL player, but he is a commentator for WWE SmackDown, or he was. Now he's on College Game Day. He's got a lot of other connections with NFL players because of his journey. A lot of connections with WWE superstars because of his journey. Joe Rogan, he's an announcer for UFC. That's pretty awesome. Commentating sounds pretty awesome. Not plan A for me personally, but it's the fact that they are men of many hats, and they can just, jack of all trades kind of thing. They're they're pretty proficient in a lot of other things because they bank on their charisma and their education in the field that they grew up in. And Joe Rogan, he did stand-up. Pat McAfee, he dabbled in stand-up. And when it comes to networking, yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, maybe through a different, I mean, it's same language, different font. You know what I'm picking up on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. And yeah, those guys inspire me to try everything. Know what I'm good at, which is communication, charisma, and writing, and just bank on those. Because there's a lot of stuff in there. You know, it's not mathematics or Scientology or something like that. It's entertainment, and, you know, one could argue, oh, that's not where smart guy fields are, but, you know, read my freaking paper on education. But how did my week go? Well, sometimes when you get guests in here, you don't really floss over that much, you know. I will say the seed is planted in my school. The seed has been planted at my school that I have a podcast. I am a podcaster. It's not a large seed. It's actually a very small seed. But we were introducing ourselves in my college experience class, and I had mentioned that I managed a podcast and a website. And, you know, I try to plug this podcast in a modest fashion.
I do too.
Awesome. You know, it's just, hey, I manage a podcast, or I said this on my podcast. You know, it's not like, hey, go check out the Too Many Words podcast, even though you, listening right now, should look to your neighbor and be like, hey, listen to the Too Many Words podcast. But anyways,
we'll do shameless self-promotion on the podcast. I mean, we don't need to worry about that.
It's fine. Hey,
outside of
hey,
podcast,
listen to the Too Many Words podcast, person listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Tell your friends, tell your family. We love you.
I had, you know, just mentioned that, and some people were like, hey, what do you need to start a podcast? Or, hey, you seem pretty busy having a website, going to school, and having a podcast. But, you know, guy clear at the bottom of, like, the comment thread that we were supposed to make these introductions on, dude was like, what's the link? And, you know, I replied to everybody that had, like, some really valid questions. But I don't know. I replied to all these people after class because I didn't have time during class to respond to them. So for all I know, they never read those responses. But things are just going to naturally happen throughout the year, bro. I'm just going to keep on modestly plugging, you know? And things are just going to go right.
What you listeners need to be doing is start sharing us on Facebook.
Yeah. Word of mouth.
Telling your friends, word of mouth, all that junk.
Rating us 5 stars.
Oh, yeah.
But also be honest about it, okay? If we're not 5 stars, don't give us 5 stars. But also understand that we don't have a lot of production value right now. So if the audio isn't great, you know, if the videos on YouTube aren't great, don't give us like a 3.5. In due time, you know, that product will get better.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
What you're rating is content. Okay. If you like listening to us, go ahead, 5-star our asses. You know, it's really appreciated. 5-star rates have the algorithm recommend the podcast to other people. You know, and that's just how it's gonna go. So, you know, if you're listening, be like, hey, person, listen to this podcast.
I remember what my last thing was.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, go with it.
So, while I was also at work, one of our former managers at Hy-Vee from several years ago, I saw him at the store the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a nice little chat. It was really nice, actually. I really enjoyed talking to him. He was always one of my favorites, actually.
My favorite, too, just letting you know if you're listening.
We're just going to go with it. His name was Derek. He's pretty cool. He's actually very cool. He's dope. But as he was leaving, as we were, you know, saying our, you know, passing greetings or whatever. No, I don't know, not passing greetings. Or goodbyes, I guess. I don't know. He said, hey, good luck on the podcast. I was like, what? How'd you know about that?
You told me that through text, and I got chills up my
Oh,
back.
yeah.
I
Oh.
was like, dude, I had butterflies. Bro, my cheeks were red. I'm like, oh, Derek, you're so awesome.
Oh,
but it's just, I'm just happy that, no, not everybody's listening to us just yet. But it's the fact that people know what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. Like, I'm going to mention, guys, my psych class got canceled this afternoon. Psych class originally had to replace me going to Bible study every week. I just came back from Bible study. I feel, honestly, great. And for those who know, the past 2 weekends that I've been dealing with, I just think it was so needed. It was just so appropriate. I was like, you know, I could just stay home and play video games the rest of the day because I got an early off. Or I can just go see some people that I absolutely love. And I do absolutely love all of those people, bro. It's awesome. But the reason why I bring it up is because a couple people were like, hey, I see that you're running a podcast. How's that going? You know, and, you know, we might curse on this freaking thing.
A few of us, myself included, might curse quite a bit.
But, yeah, we don't glorify Jesus on this podcast, but, you know, it's not one of those podcasts.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
I think our closer is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it really...
The closer, for me, is everything I do is for Jesus. You know? And, you know, if it's not for you, it's fine.
Hey, Isaac.
What's up?
How fast are we going?
God.
That's something
But
that's stupid.
honestly, me being a Christian, Jordan being a Christian, isn't really going to affect any listener unless you have a really big problem listening to what we talk about, which is 99% not going to be about Christianity. Here's the thing. The purpose of being a Christian is to follow Jesus and spread the message. Jordan, it is 2022. The message has been spread. Okay? Any knowledgeable adult person, even teenage person, at least is aware of the Christian religion.
They're where they exist, yeah.
And kind of got the gist of what we represent. So...
I wouldn't say they get the gist, because a lot of people seem to think Christians are assholes, but you know what?
Well, that's because that's just the main public portrayal, because honestly, you got a lot of Christians not acting so Christian in public.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You're right.
But what I see is there's always been this dynamic of you're getting another drink. Ooh. What are you drinking?
Cider Boys, Blackberry Wild.
Cider Boys, Blackberry Wild. Yeah, I'll take another Pepsi. I don't drink, guys. Hee hee. But anyways, yeah, the message has been spread, okay? No, people don't completely know what Jesus can do for you. But the way I operate is, if someone wants to come to me and be like, hey, Isaac, you want to talk about Jesus? I'd be like, absolutely, dude. But, you know, people are not going to become Christian simply because someone else told them to. Okay? They have to be inspired from within. And Christians will say it has to be a message from God. They have to experience what God is like. Okay? And I think that's just how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Okay? People know what I'm about when I say I'm a Christian. I think that's all. There needs to be explanation for that. Moving on. What was I talking about before all that? Yes.
Well, you had finished
yes,
the point.
Yes. The people at the Bible study were like, hey, I see that you're doing a podcast. Maybe I can be a guest on there sometime. You know Kimmy?
I don't know any of your guys.
The Kenyan girl that went axe throwing with us. Yeah, she's really awesome, actually. Because she's really, like, hey, invite me to this, and I'll definitely go. And, she's no slouch, dude.
I'll literally have anyone on the podcast.
Really, dude, honestly, yeah.
As long as they behave, I'll be anyone.
Yeah, we don't need any guests saying some racist or homophobic or sexist stuff on here, but other than
our
that...
guest on episode 3, Armin, he said the R word a couple times. That's one of the words that me and Isaac have chosen to not say.
I think it's one of those in-between words where we won't say it, but if a guest says it, it's only natural.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that crack?
We don't necessarily represent some of the things that our guests say.
But that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan, sometimes he'll have people come onto his podcast that he completely, spiritually, scientifically disagrees with wholeheartedly. Like, he is one of the biggest atheists that I know. But he had Kanye. He had Kanye as a guest. And that was actually a pretty interesting one. But, my youth pastor sent me a text tonight. Or my young adult pastor, I should say. He's like, yeah, I pray that you become the next Joe Rogan. Not atheist, though, But it's just awesome that people are just getting to know that what we're about. It's just...
Oh, yeah.
It's just great.
Very happy the word is getting out there. I just... we want more.
Yeah. Oh, it's been 36 minutes into the freaking podcast. Let's do a special drop. Okay, so as mentioned in the very beginning, you can contact us. You can email us.
Oh, you're doing this right now. Okay.
Yeah, I am doing this right now because my girlfriend quoted it, okay?
I wasn't expecting so early, to be honest.
I wasn't either, but content. Anyways.
I guess so.
As said at the beginning, you can contact us. Send us your emails to our podcast email via the podcast page on thescaldstone.com. First 10 people, I will let me first explain this. I'm going to get a pool of $100, whether I save it up by myself or Jordan, you want to help kind of fund that too. We're both kind of broke. But $100, long run, not a lot of money, right? With $100, my girlfriend quoted me that we can get 10 t-shirts with the Too Many Words podcast logo on the back. Okay? And we're going to have our Scaldstone Productions mascot on the... I don't know which side breast it is.
You didn't even talk about that. We have a mascot now.
Yeah, we have a mascot. So, the way I picture it, okay, Scaldstone Productions will be represented by our mascot, the Alpha Mist. Okay, not an alchemist, the Alpha Mist. Okay? It's just a barbaric huntsman face with goat horns and deer antlers. Alright? And tentacles in his beard. Alright, that's the Alchemist. He is one with nature, inspired by some sort of combination of Cthulhu and Cernunnos. Cernunnos is a Celtic god that was in Celtic. Cernunnos meant the horned one. So, yeah, that's just me wanting to differentiate once again the what represents Scaldstone Productions, what represents thescaldstone.com, and what represents Too Many Words Podcast. Thank you very much. I'm trying to brand the hell out of all of this. But, as said, the t-shirt design is going to have the mascot on the front, and it's going to say Triple Crown. Triple Crown. What's that mean, Jordan?
That means that you are following us on Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube.
Yes. Okay, you go subscribe to us on YouTube. You go follow us on Spotify and Instagram. Okay, if you screenshot proof of all three of those, also extra credit points if you have the bell for YouTube and Spotify. That'd be pretty appreciated. But first 10 people who send us that email with proof with a screenshot of following us on Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, following us on Spotify. Okay? First 10 people will get these t-shirts, okay? We're not going to order them yet because I know all of our fans are in different
Also put your size in the email.
Yeah. Include your size, include your preferred size, and your preferred, okay? I'm not asking for personal information.
Oh, I guess gender, yeah.
But you have to give us a mailing address. We want this t-shirt to get to you.
Okay, I guess, yeah, mailing address. But a lot of t-shirts, they also like ask for gender because like there's different sizes for each one. Like there's like a 10 male.
Yeah, include your gender if you must. Yeah.
Or 3X male, 3X female. They're
two
different things.
So.
But yeah.
So to put it clearly, this email will consist of
3 pictures.
3 pictures of Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram.
Your size.
You will list your size. You will list your gender, and you will list your address, okay? If you don't have a gender, if you don't identify as either gender, that's fine, okay? You can
just tell us what size, what kind of shirt you wear.
Size, we don't care. But
you don't have to identify it as a man to wear a men's 3X. You just need to be able to wear it.
Yeah. You can put anything in the subject line. For easy Google search, put T-shirt in the subject line. Even though these will be our first emails that we receive, it will be nice to, in the long run, be able to organize stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, first 10 people to do that get a free shirt. Funded by yours truly, co-hosts Jordan and Isaac William Joseph. Yes. So that's the end of that plug. But, yeah, I think it's very fun. I think it would be great to interact even more with people who listen. And, yeah, it would be just really cool. Jordan, talk about something while I
also wanted to state that we probably should get the Scald Stone Productions. We should probably get that copyrighted.
Does that cost money? What's the process like on that?
It does cost money, yes, but it's not actually as much as you think. Or maybe trademark? I don't know. One of the two. Either way, we need to make it so someone else can't use that name.
Yeah, Scald Stone Productions.
Otherwise, we're going to have a big legal battle, and I don't want to do that.
Honestly, dude, so sometimes I experiment from the third person's perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cleared my search history on my phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just typed in the Scald Stone. I didn't do the domain name and put .com on it. I just Googled the Scald Stone. I am so proud that I have figured out a unique, simple, and specific enough name for that to be at the top of the Google search. You know what's great? You're going to like this. Naturally, the scaldstone.com website was first, and then right beneath it was the podcast specific page.
That's great.
That is perfect. The Scald Stone, dude, nobody's going to be thinking about that for a while, and nobody's going to be thinking about trademarking that for a while. So yeah, I guess we can definitely do some research in trademarking that, especially once this thing starts making some money. You know what I'm saying? I
say we do start that Patreon. I mentioned it in a previous episode. Within the next couple months. Because, honestly, that's a really good way for just fans and people to connect. We can, if for our Patreon subscribers, we can give, more free t-shirts. We can give free exclusive content. Isaac's OnlyFans page. I don't know.
Okay, that needs an explanation, okay? I don't need people thinking things, okay? Out of irony, or out of sarcasm, I made my own OnlyFans page. There's no posts on it or anything, okay? But I am definitely a creator on OnlyFans. I made that thing 2 years ago. I don't even know the names to it. I think
it's probably gotten deleted if you haven't touched it.
Honestly, yeah. I think I called myself Rick Swordfire.
What the
fuck? But yeah, that was kind of like a joke saying, "Hey, Isaac, the Christian kid, has an OnlyFans." Wow. Okay. But yeah. What other things were you saying in all that mess?
Exclusive content.
What would we do on a Patreon?
More t-shirts. Just more exclusive,
How often would we do a Patreon episode?
I mean, Patreon episode, that'd be an additional episode for the week. So, I mean, we could probably do it like once a month.
Once a month? I think that's good starting out because, honestly, I have no clue how to add more shit to my week right now.
Yeah, just for like Patreon, we just do an extra podcast every month, which would be, I'll admit, kind of difficult because we honestly don't live that interesting of lives. At least I don't. But Isaac definitely does. He does some
Isaac
shit.
Definitely does. I don't even know what's like. Patreon's got to be special, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Maybe it wouldn't be another
we'll
podcast.
We'll definitely execute. Once
Maybe it would just be
great...
like us doing a bit, like the one chip challenge, or us like drinking a gallon of milk.
You know what I was thinking about doing?
Us punching a baby in the face. I don't know.
You know what I was thinking about doing once I get a couple cameras and a couple mics? Once I get like a really good setup in like either here or my mom's basement, I want to do a really cool edit of a 15-minute interview of me interviewing Dub Smoke. What do you think, bro?
That could become a series.
That could be great. Like
that's a great Patreon thing, actually. Yeah? Like you just interviewing Dub Smoke, Fago,
Dub Smoke, Fago, among others. Those
we even
are,
get
those
the
are,
red face paint.
Those are just alter ego / D&D characters that I have made over the years, and honestly, without Dub Smoke, I would have never discovered a stress-free life, to be really honest with you.
You could do Dub Smoke, Fago. You could do Dr. Hazard or one of your other characters from that book. You could just whatever one you embody the most.
I can't do Jacoby because Jacoby's black. Yeah, don't do that one.
No.
Nope.
You could interview, like, we could just make it a series of interviewing random people, like Armin. You just ask him, like, a series of questions, like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? What the fuck happened in your life? Why are you so fucking the way you are?
Oh, man.
I say fuck a lot, if you haven't noticed. Especially when I'm tired, I've noticed I say it a lot more. Or, that's probably the number one swear word you're going to hear from me. I may say some goddammits here and there, but that's mostly just when I get irritated.
In my opinion, that's the worst one, but go ahead.
Yeah, when I get irritated or pissed off. My opinion, pissed off is not a swear word. They actually said...
Pissed off is not a swear word.
They said that in the regular show. I was like, wow, look at them. Being good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? You got something to say?
Can I talk about my school day?
Sure.
Dude. English class was canceled once again today.
Really?
And it's canceled all week, actually. But, dude, this teacher is getting all of the bad things happening. Because...
Do you have a reason this time?
Yeah. So, like, on the second day of school, she had to leave early because her kid was puking at school.
You don't need to recite it.
Because of that, she got sick, so she missed a few
and then
classes.
Recite it.
I think it needs build up, okay? Because a lot of people listening only listen to one episode, okay?
I feel like you're wrong in that, but it's fine. It's fine.
I might be wrong, but anyway,
it's fine.
This time, honestly, she gets a pass. She gets such a pass. Her dad died.
Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah, that's bad. But with that being on top of...
Wait a second.
What's up?
What's your teacher's name?
I'm not saying that on here. I think I've gotten way too specific with previous details.
My mom's friend boy. We're going to go with that. Abe, his dad just died. Like, literally.
Really?
Just died. So now I'm curious.
Well, she's from New York.
Abe's now from around here. I don't know where, but yeah.
Well, he's a huge Cornhusker fan, right?
Yeah, I like Cornhuskers.
Yeah, I don't think anybody near New York likes the Cornhuskers. But, so yeah, I only did college experience today because psych class was canceled. And the email with that was, due to unfortunate circumstances, class will be canceled. Go through chapter 4 on your own sometime this week. Do the homework. Bro,
I like how college professors can just fucking do that.
Dude.
Just be like, yeah, I can't have class tonight.
That
You'll
is so
do your
much
shit at home.
psychology that I gotta just do independently, dude. But, school has been a really good setup for me constantly achieving things that I forgot that I could do, right? So, but since the seed was planted at school, I actually had a really, really nice talk with a young girl today because class was canceled. She's in my composition class. She has been very open since day one. She doesn't exactly know why she's in college, but her parents told her to. Can I?
She'll find her way.
Can I say something? Parents, stop making your kids go to college. You're setting them up for failure. Okay? Especially if you think, especially if you don't even know what they are gonna go to school
I feel
for.
like there needs to be a lot more context there. I mean,
Okay.
I disagree with forcing... Let me talk for a second.
Okay, yeah.
I disagree with forcing your kids to do anything. Unless you're like in a good relationship with them, and you're like, well, I don't really know what I want to do, or what, maybe I should go to college, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should just work. If your parents force that person to go to college to kind of find their way and to explore a little bit, then I think it's okay. But like, if they're just forcing their children to go to college because like, you need to go to college, otherwise you're going to be a piece of shit and a bum, that's fucked up.
That was this girl's situation.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing. I had an hour and a half conversation with this girl because
Jesus.
Yeah.
Invite her on the podcast.
I told her everything wrong that happened with me the first time I went to DMAC, and I'm like, I wasn't leaning toward any direction. I'm like, hey, I know you hate doing homework. I know you don't know why you're here. But on the bright side, you're at community college. Right now, we're just here for core classes. And even though you don't like core classes, you got at least a whole two extra years to figure out what you really want to do. Okay?
Take it slow.
Community college is community college, bro. Okay? Anybody can do that. People who have already made a career of themselves and they want to dabble in something else, they go to a community college class for a semester, okay? But next episode, I really, really want to get into depth of all the things that made me a failing student the first time I went to college and what needed to happen for me in my mindset for me to love college now. I think that's very important, especially for guys and girls about to go to college. See, this girl, she's 18. She graduated 5 months ago. How do you expect that person to just figure out what they want to do with for the rest of their life? I took a gap year.
I think that mentality is also flawed. Finding what you want to do for the rest of your life, I think you should be doing multiple different things for the rest of your life. Don't find one thing to do. Just
shout out Pat McAfee. Shout out Joe Rogan.
Find out what you're passionate about. That's gonna change in your life. Mm-hmm. That's just the rule of life. You don't have to be stuck doing the same thing for the rest of your life. Just when you find something new that you want to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I kept on saying, I'm like, sorry if I'm ranting. She's like, no. I need to hear this.
What's your timer at, by the way?
54 minutes.
And how many seconds?
10 seconds.
Okay. So you're 20 seconds behind me.
Oh, okay.
That's good to know, actually.
But yeah, next episode, I really want to get into that. I think it's important for people to know
college
my
episode.
Personal experience on it. And, yeah, I definitely think I encouraged her at least a little bit because she was talking about how much she just doesn't like this, and like there's a bunch of different things that I could say, but as there's 5 minutes left in this
The number one reason why I didn't go to college, at least not yet, is because I fucking hated school. I hated every second of it. I didn't hate being there because honestly, it was great. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. I wish I could go back to high school. I really enjoyed high school, except for freshman year. That year can suck my ass, suck my hairy ass. I did not like doing homework. I did not like doing school. I did not like that. And I told myself I will go to college. That is something that's going to happen in my life, but I will go when I feel I am ready and I want to. I'm getting there.
Yes,
I'm getting real close, actually.
I had that thought even after I dropped out. I was like, I know I'm coming back. I just don't know when. It's just, even if I didn't drop out, the things that I experienced after that would have definitely made me drop out then deeper into debt.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think, like, it just doesn't work for everyone at the same time. Like, some people can go into school, like college, immediately after high school. Some people absolutely cannot. I was one of those people. If I had tried,
some
I
people
would have
need a
failed.
slice of life. For me, I really needed a slice of life. I think everything that I experienced in between high school and college, this time in college, and some of those days were the worst days of my life.
Best day of your life. 3 Days Grace concert.
Right now, I'm having the best days of my life. This year has been stupendous. But that's
2022 has been Isaac's fucking year,
dude,
bro.
This is my favorite year by far. But honestly, it wouldn't be so significant if the previous 2 years were not so shitty.
Wow.
I did get a little bit closer religiously, right, throughout all of that, but it wasn't at all sunshine and rainbows in the slightest. But, as we're getting out of here, you want me to get into the anchor stats?
I got another thing for Patreon, maybe.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Live podcasts. Maybe
Live
that's where we do the live episodes.
And we do it in our underwear.
Yes.
No. That was
I'd say the Patreons,
we dress up as a Viking and a Panda.
That would also be something interesting. But they would actually get to experience the regular podcast, but they'd experience it live. I don't know how we would do that, though. I wonder if Patreon has a thing like that. It probably does. I know there's people do that. But, I don't know. Something we can look into. All right, go into the anchor stats. I actually want to hear these.
All right. So our audience size has not changed.
Okay.
But that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because they're sticking around.
Get the word out.
We have 63 all-time plays, which is significantly more than last week, actually.
Wow.
16 plays per episode. Audience of 13. Our army is small, but they are consistent.
That's a good thing.
I love all 13 of you peoples.
He's trying to swear less. I am not. I don't give a fuck.
But yeah, it's really awesome to see these change week by week, and we're just
I actually love hearing the anchor stats, and I love getting the live reaction to them on the podcast. Actually,
yeah,
I prefer that.
I think it's a really good feature.
Oh yeah.
So far, the latest episode 4 with Darren, has 7 plays.
That's not as much as I thought it would be, honestly.
It's all right. Every episode has increased in plays.
Really?
The New York episode has 12 plays. Our second episode has 17, and our first one has 27.
Nice.
27, 3 more than last week.
That's on Spotify, right?
These are Spotify stats.
Because the YouTube one has 30-some views.
The YouTube stats, honestly, I was surprised. There are more people who are YouTube savvy in our circle right now.
Everyone's on YouTube.
Everybody.
Not everyone's on
YouTube,
Spotify.
But for me personally, I just don't watch. I just don't watch podcasts.
That's why I think we need to actually get our podcast onto Apple as well. That might be something we can consider.
I gotta talk to you about Anchor after this, okay?
Okay.
Because there's a there's this feature that you can just automatically get like your podcast uploaded to multiple apps. But I don't know how to do that right now.
Okay. Okay.
So, Jordan.
What?
Ultimate plug. What's our Instagram at?
Too Many Words Podcast.
What do you have to search to find us on Spotify?
Too Many Words Podcast.
What are we on YouTube?
Too Many Words Podcast.
Nope.
Scald Stone Productions.
Yes, sir.
I thought you changed that.
I know. I know. It was Too Many Words Podcast for about a couple hours. But it went back to Scald Stone Productions. But what's the ad on TikTok?
Scald Stone Productions, right?
All right, cool. TikTok and YouTube, Scald Stone Productions. Spotify and Instagram, Too Many Words Podcast. All right, go follow, go subscribe. Jordan?
Give us some love, baby girl.
Jordan, who do you want to make this podcast out to? Or what do you want to make this podcast out to?
I want to make this podcast out to Skip and Sal's.
Really, we're gonna use an inside joke on this one?
Yes.
All right, that's fine. I'm gonna. This podcast episode goes out to chicken parmesan.
Chicken Parmesan?
Chicken parmesan, not bad.
I call it chicken Alfredo, but you know it's the same thing. Or not Alfredo, chicken marinara. That's what it was. But it's a chicken patty on top of marinara sauce, noodles, and with Parmesan cheese on top. That was actually
like chicken parmesan as an entity.
Okay. That was like my favorite meal for a long time.
Really?
It still is, honestly, probably. That drives me nuts.
I don't like Alfredo.
It's not Alfredo sauce. It's red sauce.
Oh, okay.
I misspoke the first time.
Okay, good, because
I was trying to correct
I hate
that.
Alfredo.
Why do you hate Alfredo?
It's just it does not mess with me on a pasta level.
I like Alfredo sauce,
but chicken parm,
not as much as red sauce.
This podcast episode goes out to you. And then they all said 1, 2, 3,
Amen.